Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the SmackDown review. SmackDown was taped from the Uber Arena in Berlin, Germany, which Bash in Berlin is going to be taking place there also tomorrow. And the show starts at 1 o'clock here on the East Coast. Of course, this was SmackDown's go-home show for Bash in Berlin. But if you guys didn't watch SmackDown tonight, you missed absolutely nothing. The show was so unimportant, and it just felt lazy to me. I mean, the card, didn't really look that interesting. But like I said, if you didn't watch the show, you missed absolutely nothing. And the show didn't get, us hyped to check out Bash in Berlin. But SmackDown was easily a skippable show tonight. But what did we get on the show? We had LA Knight versus Ludwig Kaiser for the United States Championship. Of course, LA Knight ended up issuing an open challenge for the title, and Ludwig Kaiser ended up answering the challenge. We had Angel, Garza, and Humberto Carrillo. They're calling themselves Los Garza. And they have taken on Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. We had, once again, Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. Their fourth match here. I think, they're doing a best of 7 with them. So, I'll get to explaining, that match. And then we had, in the main event, the Women's Championship was on the line. Nia Jax defended the title against Mia Yim, or Michin, in a street fight. Yeah, it sounded like some great SmackDown tonight. Yeah. Overall, this was a skippable show. But let's jump right into the review. SmackDown opened up with LA Knight. Yeah! LA Knight came into the ring. He got a big pop from the crowd there in Berlin. So, Knight ended up getting on the mic. He ended up telling the crowd in Berlin, "Let me talk to ya." Knight ended up saying that it has been 27 years since WWE has held a major televised event in Berlin. He ended up saying that last week he defended his United States Championship for the first time, and it was in the state's capital, Washington, D.C. So, Knight ended up saying that if he is going to defend it in the capital of the United States, he will defend it in the capital of Germany. Knight ended up saying that they are in Berlin, and if someone wants to walk out, they can get bashed. So, of course, Knight issuing a open challenge for the United States Championship. And Ludwig Kaiser ended up coming out. Ludwig Kaiser answered Knight's challenge. And Kaiser got a huge pop from the crowd there. So Kaiser got on the mic. He started speaking in German, which the crowd ended up popping for. And then Kaiser ended up telling Knight that if he really is the United States champion, that he says he is, he will want to defend that title against the very best all over the world. Kaiser ended up saying himself and all of Berlin can tell him that there is no one better on German soil than the German Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser then got into the ring. He had telling Knight that after he beats him in the capital of his home country, he will bring it across the pond and make the title bigger than it ever was. And he will make it his own personal European championship. Now, I like that they referenced or made a mention of the former European Championship. So that was kind of cool to hear. So the fans end up chanting for Kaiser. Knight end up saying to Kaiser, that's pretty impressive. That's impressive for Gunther's stooge. Knight ended up telling Kaiser that he has to win his championship, but he won't. He ended up saying that the only thing Kaiser will do is lay down and get hit with 3, and everyone can pledge allegiance to the champ, with everyone saying, L.A. Knight, yeah! So then Knight ended up dropping the mic, and his music ended up hitting, and that was how the segment ended. But overall, this was a decent opening to SmackDown here. Knight coming out there saying that it has been 27 years since WWE held a major TV event in Berlin. Kaiser coming out in his home country, and the crowd popping for him loudly. I thought, his home country in Germany actually gave him a very good welcome. But decent opening to SmackDown. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had the first match of the night, LA Knight versus Ludwig Kaiser for the United States Championship. This was a decent match here. Match got underway. Kaiser was still getting cheers from the crowd. He was over. Kaiser locked in an armbar on Knight, but Knight reversed that into an armbar of his own. Kaiser ended up getting Knight into a headlock takedown, but Knight ended up getting out of it. Knight then delivered some right hands to Kaiser, but Kaiser came back, delivered a right hand to Knight, and Kaiser then started stomping away on Knight in the corner. Knight then delivered a clothesline onto Kaiser, and then Kaiser ended up rolling to the outside. Knight then ended up lifting Kaiser up. He ended up dropping Kaiser onto the ring apron. Knight then grabbed Kaiser, but Kaiser ended up pushing Knight into the ring apron and also into the steel steps. Kaiser then ended up running around the ring, and he drop kicked Knight into the steel steps. So then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Kaiser was still in control of the match. Kaiser delivered some right hands to Knight, and then he delivered a kick to Knight's face. Kaiser then grabbed Knight, but Knight ended up pushing Kaiser into the corner, and he clotheslined Kaiser to the outside. Knight then ended up going out of the ring, and he slammed Kaiser face first into the commentary table. Knight then threw Kaiser back into the ring, and he ended up hitting Kaiser with a neck breaker. Knight then climbed the second rope, and he delivered an elbow to Kaiser. Knight ended up going for the cover, but Kaiser ended up kicking out. Knight then ended up stomping on Kaiser in the corner, and he ended up hitting Kaiser with a running knee to his face. Knight then went to the ropes, but Kaiser delivered a kick to Knight's face. Kaiser ended up going for the cover, but Knight ended up kicking out. Kaiser ended up running to the ropes, but Knight ended up laying out Kaiser with a body slam. Knight ended up going for the BFT, the blunt force trauma, but Kaiser ended up rolling Knight up, but Knight ended up kicking out. Kaiser then delivered a clothesline to Knight, which was followed by another kick to Knight's face. Kaiser ended up throwing Knight into the ropes, and he ended up hitting Knight with the Kaiser roll. Yeah, let me take one Kaiser roll to go, please. Sounds like something that you would order off of a menu. Yeah, I'll have one Kaiser roll with butter, please. So Kaiser ended up going for the cover, and Knight ended up kicking out. Kaiser ended up grabbing Knight, but Knight reversed that, and he slammed Kaiser onto the canvas. He then ended up hitting the BFT, the blunt force trauma. He ended up going for the cover, and there you go. LA Knight ended up winning the match, retaining the United States Championship. Obviously, Knight was retaining. But overall, this was a decent match, predictable ending. But Ludwig Kaiser ended up looking good in the ring, and hopefully the WWE can book Knight to do these open challenges every week for the title. I mean, it could work for Knight. It worked for Cena back in the day when he did the whole United States Open Challenge. So it could work for LA Knight. So we'll have to see. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. They ended up taking on Humberto and Angel Garza, which they are now calling themselves Los Garza. And they were accompanied by Santos Escobar and Elektra Lopez. But Santos Escobar and Elektra Lopez, they end up making their way to the back. So it's just Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, and Garza and Humberto just going at it. And this was a decent match here. Apollo Crews and Humberto Carrillo started off the match. Crews ended up delivering a drop kick to Humberto. He then lifted him up, and he landed a vertical suplex to Humberto. Crews ended up going for the cover, but Humberto ended up kicking out. Baron Corbin was then tagged in. Baron Corbin got delivered right hands to Humberto. Angel was then tagged in. Corbin then delivered a double clothesline, taking out both Humberto and Angel. Corbin then delivered some right hands on Angel in the corner. He up run to the ropes and landed a clothesline to Angel. Corbin then ended up grabbing Angel, but Angel ended up pushing Corbin into the corner, and he tagged Humberto in. So Los Garza double teamed on Corbin. Humberto ended up going for the cover, but Corbin ended up kicking out. So Humberto ended up grabbing Corbin, but Corbin ended up pushing him to the outside of the ring, and he tagged Apollo Crews in. Angel ended up getting into the ring. Apollo Crews threw Angel to the outside. Crews ended up running to the ropes, and Corbin ended up throwing Crews over the top rope onto both Garza and Humberto. And then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Angel ended up going for a spear onto Crews in the corner, but Crews ended up moving out of the way. Crews ended up tagging in Corbin, and Angel ended up tagging in Humberto, so Corbin and Humberto were going at it. So Crews ended up delivering a German suplex onto Angel. He ended up going for a German suplex onto Humberto, but Humberto ended up landing on his feet, and he landed a springboard kick onto Apollo Crews. Angel then delivered a super kick onto Corbin. He then ended up running to the ropes. Angel and Humberto end up colliding both with a double crossbody. Corbin and Angel end up rolling to the outside. Corbin then ended up slamming Angel onto the commentary table. So Elektra Lopez ended up getting on the ring apron, and she distracted the ref, which that led to Santos Escobar throwing Corbin into the ring steps. Apollo ended up climbing the top rope, but Humberto delivered an arm drag to Apollo Crews. Angel was then tagged in, and they ended up pinning Apollo Crews with the MTY. Angel ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Los Garza, Angel, Garza, and Humberto ended up winning the match. Yeah, I know they call Humberto just Berto, but I'm just calling him Humberto. It sounds much better than calling him Berto. But overall, decent match it was. And then we had a pre-taped promo from the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa ended up saying that next week they will defend their tag team championships against DIY and the Street Profits, and that they will win against them. Solo Sikoa ended up saying that he took out everyone. He took out Jimmy Uso. Then he took out Paul Heyman. And then he took out Roman Reigns. He kept saying that he will get the winner of Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, whoever wins that match. So pretty much that was basically that. And then we had Nick Aldis. SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis was in the ring, and he kept talking about promoting Bash in Berlin and the week of live events that WWE was doing in Europe. Nick Aldis ended up thanking everyone. He kept saying that the most important match happening at Bash in Berlin is Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. He first introduced Kevin Owens, which Kevin Owens ended up coming out, made his way down to the ring. Nick Aldis also ended up introducing Cody Rhodes, to which Cody ended up coming out. Everybody in Berlin got in there, whoas, when he came out. So Nick Aldis ended up wishing both Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes the best of luck at Bash in Berlin tomorrow. And then Nick Aldis left the ring, and the only ones that were in the ring were Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. This was a face-to-face with them. Kevin Owens ended up asking Cody what he wants to talk about. And so Cody ended up speaking in German. Kevin Owens ended up asking him, what? So Cody ended up saying that it's the championship. Kevin Owens ended up saying that there is something he would like to talk about. Owens ended up asking Cody if he wants to talk about what happened to Cody's knee during the live event tour. Cody ended up saying that nothing happened to his knee, and that his knee is fine. It's good and the spirit of a friendly conversation. He was like, let's talk about last week. So Cody ended up saying that him and Owens defeated A-Town Down Under. That was great. Cody ended up telling Owens what happened in the end was Owens handed him the undisputed WWE Championship. He ended up saying, but to a lot of people, it looked like Kevin Owens was going to hit him in the back with it, which obviously we all thought that was going to happen, but unfortunately it didn't. You know, it was just Kevin Owens hand over the title to Cody Rhodes. So Cody ended up saying that he is not accusing Owens, but Owens said it himself about his track record. So Owens then ended up telling Cody the track record. He ended up saying that he gets it. But that video that Grayson Waller showed, all of those guys that he turned on, they all deserved it. Kevin Owens ended up saying that everyone deserved it, except for Kofi Kingston. But everyone else had it coming. Owens ended up saying that they never had that kind of relationship, and that they have always been close, even the relationship he had with his dad. Owens ended up asking Cody why he would even do that to him. Cody ended up telling Owens they never spoke about it, but maybe Kevin Owens is a little angry with him. He ended up saying that in 2015, 2016, Cody walked with a lot of people that he walked with, and the whole change that has happened in the industry. He ended up saying perhaps Owens doesn't get enough credit for that, and that Cody, is getting too much. Cody ended up saying that he would be mad about that too. And Kevin Owens got a chant there from the crowd there in Berlin here at this point. Kevin Owens ended up saying to Cody, that is very nice, but he doesn't know what to say to that. He ended up saying that he would never do that to Cody because he doesn't need to hit him with a cheap shot because of his knee. Owens ended up telling Cody that he knows he got hurt and how he got hurt. He ended up saying every night after shows, he gets messages from people telling him that Cody is with the trainers. Owens ended up telling Cody if his knee is not 100%. Cody then ended up cutting Owens off. Owens ended up asking Cody if his knee is fine, and why didn't he take a knee during his entrance, as he always does. Owens ended up saying that yesterday marked 8 years since he won the Universal Championship, and he remembers what happened when he won it, and that he should have been on top of the world, but people ended up telling him that he didn't deserve it. Owens ended up saying people told him that Triple H gave him that reign, and that still bothers him. Owens ended up saying that if Cody is not 100%, what will people say when he beats him? So Cody ended up getting angry at Owens. He ended up telling him that his knee is 100% ready. And it sounds like Owens is talking with confidence, but it's anger. Cody ended up saying that Owens knew what it meant when he came back. That meant he would leave some people behind. He ended up saying that at WrestleMania, Owens faced Stone Cold Steve Austin in the biggest match, which that match was absolutely awful, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I know people enjoy that match. To me, it was fucking awful. And Cody ended up saying that Owens had to share the spotlight with him returning. Cody ended up telling Owens that he will beat him, and nothing will be tainted about it. He ended up asking Owens if they will still be friends after that. Kevin Owens then ended up throwing the mic, and he whispered something in Cody's ear. And Owens left the ring. And pretty much that was how the segment ended. But overall, this was a okay segment here between Cody and Kevin Owens. Just hype going into the match for Bash in Berlin, tomorrow. Obviously, we all know that Cody Rhodes is retaining the title. And then we saw Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews backstage. A-Town Down Under, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were there. So Waller ended up beginning to laugh. He ended up saying that Corbin and Apollo Crews are falling about. He ended up mentioning that Theory told him how Corbin and Crews are not even half the team they were. Corbin then got into Theory's face, and he walked off. Theory ended up getting mad at Waller, saying how maybe they are falling apart. Waller ended up telling Theory that's how they do it in Australia, and that he is just joking. So both Waller and Theory ended up shaking hands, and pretty much that was basically that. I mean, they're teasing this A-Town Down Under breakup. It looked like it was on the verge, and then they pushed it back, and it looks like maybe, they're going to start it up again with a possibility of them splitting. And then, as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade, their fourth match. And you can tell that they're doing a best of 7 series with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. And this was, a good match here. So, match started off with both Carmelo Hayes and Andrade delivering some right hands. Andrade ended up throwing Hayes to the outside. Andrade then delivered a corkscrew plancha onto Hayes on the outside. Andrade ended up throwing Carmelo back into the ring. Carmelo ended up delivering a springboard clothesline to Andrade. Hayes ended up climbing up to the second rope, but Andrade tripped Hayes up, and he ended up landing a double stomp onto Hayes. So then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Andrade ended up delivering a flying forearm to Hayes' face. Andrade climbed to the top rope. He ended up going for a moonsault, but Carmelo ended up moving out of the way. Andrade landed on his feet, and he ended up landing a standing moonsault onto Carmelo Hayes. Andrade ended up going for the cover, and Hayes ended up kicking out. Andrade ended up going for a knee onto Hayes, but Hayes ended up hitting Andrade with the first 48. So Carmelo then ended up delivering the double D's to Andrade. He ended up going for the cover, but Andrade ended up kicking out. So Andrade ended up running towards the corner, and he ended up seeing the top turnbuckle exposed. So Andrade ended up turning around. Carmelo ended up hitting Andrade with a super kick. He ended up going for the cover, and Andrade ended up kicking out. So both Carmelo and Andrade ended up getting up. Both guys ran to the second rope, and they ended up landing a double Spanish fly, which was absolutely great. That was a great spot here in the match, that double Spanish fly from the both of them. It was amazing. So then, as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Andrade ended up delivering a fallaway slam off the top rope to Hayes. He ended up going for the cover, and Hayes ended up kicking out. So later on, we had Carmelo end up sliding under Andrade because Andrade ended up placing Carmelo on the top rope, and he climbed the top rope. Carmelo ended up sliding under. He ended up tripping Andrade, and Andrade ended up falling face first onto the exposed turnbuckle. Carmelo Hayes ended up climbing the top rope, and he landed the nothing but net on Andrade. Went for the cover, and there you go. Carmelo Hayes ended up winning the match. But overall, good match this was. I mean, both guys have been, fun to watch, in these matches that, they are having. And they are now tied at 2-2. A good match it was. Main event, the street fight between Nia Jax versus Mia Yim, or Michin, if you want to call it that. This was for the Women's Championship. And this was, in my opinion, Nia Jax was in the ring, and Mia Yim ended up coming out. She made her way out. She had a shopping cart full of weapons. She was pulling a Raven there. Because Raven, always in hardcore matches, used to come out with a shopping cart full of weapons. So the match got underway. Mia Yim delivered a kendo stick to Nia Jax. She ended up hitting Nia Jax with it. Nia ended up rolling to the outside. Mia Yim ended up going to hit Nia with a kendo stick, but Nia ended up catching it. Nia ended up going to hit Mia Yim with the kendo stick, but Mia Yim ended up ducking, and Nia ended up hitting the ring post. Mia Yim ended up getting in the ring, and Nia Jax ended up also getting back into the ring. Mia Yim delivered a kick to Nia Jax, and Nia ended up landing face first onto the canvas. Mia Yim ended up going to the outside, and she ended up pulling weapons from under the ring. Mia Yim ended up grabbing a table from under the ring, which got a pop from the crowd, because the crowd always loves their tables. They're always chanting, "We want tables." So we had Nia Jax end up hitting Mia Yim with a kendo stick, and Nia ended up throwing Mia Yim back into the ring, and Nia put the table back under the ring. Mia Yim then delivered a kick to Nia's face, and she ended up grabbing the table from under the ring, and SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Nia Jax ended up slamming Mia Yim back first onto the ring apron. Nia then placed the table in the corner of the ring. She then grabbed Mia Yim. Mia Yim then ended up spraying Nia with the fire extinguisher right in her face. Mia Yim delivered a drop kick off the top rope to Nia. She then ended up going for a tornado DDT onto a trash can, but Nia ended up throwing Mia Yim into the trash can. Mia Yim ended up grabbing two trash can lids, and she began hitting Nia with them, and she landed a tornado DDT to Nia onto the lids. So Mia Yim ended up going for the cover. Nia Jax ended up kicking out. So we had Mia Yim end up lifting Nia Jax up, and she powerbombed Nia Jax through the table. So both women were down. Tiffany Stratton's music ended up hitting. Tiffany Stratton ended up coming out with her Money in the Bank briefcase. She ended up running into the ring. She ended up hitting Mia Yim with the briefcase. Tiffany Stratton looked at Jessica Carr, who was the referee. And it looked like Tiffany Stratton was about to cash it in. She turned around. Nia Jax ended up asking Stratton, what is she doing? Tiffany then ended up hitting Mia Yim with the briefcase, and she ended up placing Nia on top of Mia Yim. Nia went for the cover, but Mia Yim ended up kicking out. And then we had the return of Bayley. Bayley has been out since SummerSlam, so she made a return. She ended up running to the ring. Bayley ended up hitting Stratton with a clothesline over the top rope. So Bayley ended up throwing Stratton over the barricade. Mia Yim then ended up rolling Nia Jax up, but Nia Jax ended up kicking out. Mia Yim then delivered some kicks to Nia. She ended up running toward Nia, but Nia picked Mia Yim up, and Nia delivered the Samoan drop to Mia Yim through the table. So Nia then ended up placing Mia Yim next to the turnbuckle. She placed Mia Yim on a trash can. Nia then ended up going up to the top, and she delivered the Annihilator onto Mia Yim through the trash can. So Nia ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Nia Jax ended up winning the match, retaining the Women's Championship. Overall, very meh match it was, and that was how SmackDown went off the air. Overall, this was a easily skippable SmackDown. They relied heavy tonight on vignettes for, Bash in Berlin. So SmackDown, wasn't much tonight. If you missed the show, you missed absolutely nothing. So, like I said, easily skippable show. But anyway, that's it for the SmackDown review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up. Comment, subscribe. I won't be doing a Bash in Berlin review tomorrow because I'll be working. Won't be doing a Monday Night Raw review on Monday because Labor Day. I'm going to the movies, seeing the classic Terminator, the first film, on the big screen. So that's going to be very good. So, but until the next video, I'll see you all later. Bye.